Welcome back to Outer Worlds, where today we're reviewing the Jurassic Park Hammond Collection Dr. Ian Malcolm from Mattel. The Hammond Collection is not easy to come by in the UK, like at all, and so after getting the Baryonyx and Velociraptor from Wave 1, I knew Mattel were onto something good, and so wanted to see what they were doing with their human characters. And who better to start with than fellow Wave 1 release Mr. Dr. Ian Malcolm. The box is very much like the Velociraptor we looked at earlier this year with Dr. Ian Malcolm written down here, the Hammond Collection logo here, and the T-Rex fossil logo up here. On one side we have the line logo again, and then on the back we've got a stock photograph, a tiny film still, and an actual character bio. Remember when toy lines used to do that, huh? Finally, on the other box side we've got this excellently lit action figure photo. But enough cardboard, let's get to the meat. Straight out of the box, my expectations are, well, met, really. The figure has good proportions, he stands up well, and you have to say that overall the sculpt is decent. The jacket is a little bulky for sure, but it doesn't look too bad considering it's removable. At least, I assume that's what those spare arms are for, or else this set just got weird. Let's take a look at his articulation with the jacket on. His head turns side to side okay, and it can just about look down. He can't really look up all that well though, and I don't know if that's a sculpt or the jacket collar getting him away. His arms extend nicely at the shoulders, and his single joint elbows flex 90 degrees. He's got swivel and hinge wrists that have a really great range of motion. Then we get to the hips with a ball and hinge combination working to give him an excellent full Van Damme. He can kick forward this far, but there's not really any motion back. There's no thigh cut, which is a bit of a shame, but then he's got double jointed knees which give him an excellent bend. The joint is topped off with a floating kneecap which just looks excellent. Finally, he's got swivel hinge ankles with full 360 degree rotation and decent flex up and down. Here's a nice surprise, his glasses come off. So as well as having his uber cool chaos mathematician look, we also get a pair of dreamy brown eyes underneath. It's not a bad look in the slightest. Not Star Wars Vintage Collection level, but not bad at all. So what about the rest of his accessories? First up we have his red smoke flare, which looks very cool. It's thick plastic but still translucent, so I bet it would look pretty good with some light shining through it. Then we've got the two aforementioned spare arms, so let's get his jacket off and see what that looks like. That's not right. So, the shoulder peg that goes into the torso is a much harder plastic than that of the arm. The peg itself is locked super tight into the torso, and the arm broke off the peg pretty much as soon as I tried to pull it off. And now a peg won't budge, so I'm going to have to use a little tool to sort this out. Yeah, that was in so tight, there was no way that was coming out by pulling the arm. Anyway, let's hope the jacketless version looks good. I don't think that's coming back out. Alrighty then, now that trauma's behind us, let's take a look at the jacketless, sunglassesless Dr. Ian Malcolm. And man, let's be honest, this figure looks good. True, it's easy to look good when you're an action figure dressed head to toe in black, just ask Snake Eyes or Darth Vader. But I'm not giving Mattel faint praise here. The sculpt is decent, and the painted details on his necklace, belt buckle, wristwatch and boots are all really quite tight, given the scale. With the jacket off, his articulation is much the same. The head still can't look up all that far, and the arms have the same range of movement. What we can see much better now is a ball jointed waist, which looks innocuous and gives him a decent swivel left and right and a good bit of forward and backward motion. Right then, let's get on to the size comparisons. First up we have Dr. Ian Malcolm next to one of his wavemates, the Velociraptor. Then we have him next to another of his wavemates, the Jurassic Park 3 Baryonyx. And finally, for another 1/18th scale figure comparison, here we have him next to Star Wars Vintage Collection Cassian Andor. He scales up well next to them all, and having a line of more or less scaled dinosaurs and humans is exactly my cup of tea. So there you have it for Dr. Ian Malcolm. Do I like it? I do, yeah. Is it worth getting? That's up to you to decide. If you're into Jurassic Park and 1/18th scale action figures, then yes, and you most likely have them already. If you do decide you want them, don't pay current eBay prices. Somewhere between 10 to 15 quid is probably fair. And with that, we are done. Now it's over to you. Have you got the Hammond Collection Dr. Ian Malcolm? If so, what do you think of him? Drop a comment down below and let me know, I would love to hear your thoughts. Otherwise, please like the video if you made it this far, that will help the channel immensely. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and until next time, take care in those outer worlds.